Part 2, employment. So we're going to start with NC Works. Are y'all familiar at all with NC Works?
Do they help find jobs, I think I heard?
They do. And given the current climate, if you have applied for unemployment, you do that through NC Works as well. So NC Works is typically a physical location and a website. The Career Center is currently not open, and I honestly do not know when that's going to change. But as soon as those restrictions are lifted, the Career Center will be open. NC Works is located in downtown Conover. It's in the same building as the Conover Library over where the park is. It's got the splash pad, the one that's fairly new. So it is both a physical location and a website. When you go to the physical location, they will help you create a resume. They will help you create a profile on their website. And this gives you the ability to apply for jobs. There are thousands of jobs that are added onto that site every month. And my favorite thing about the website is once you create a profile and you have uploaded your information as far as your past employment, it's one click to apply for jobs. I don't know about y'all, but a lot of the sites where you apply for jobs, I find it maddening that you create a resume, you create a cover letter, you go on there and you upload that information, and then every job you apply for, you have to spend about 2 hours repeating everything that you've already said on your resume. It takes a lot of time. You do not have to do that on NC Works. With NC Works, you'll create a username and a password so that you're able to log in anytime. Once the system determines exactly what type of employment you're looking for, when a new job becomes available, you'll get an email, and it will let you know that there's a new job that may match your criteria that has become available, and then it's one click to apply for jobs. Now, typically, NC Works does have career fairs. They were having those on Wednesday prior to the closing of the Career Center. I'm not certain when that will resume yet, but we'll keep you updated on that. When the Career Center does open, your case managers will let you know that that service is available. Any questions about NC Works? Next employment resource is Goodwill Career Connections. They are in Conover near the tag office. There's the large Goodwill, it's kind of like a warehouse where you go in and you buy clothes by the pound. On the corner there is the Career Center. They will do a similar thing to NC Works. They will help you create a resume and a cover letter, and they will also help you seek employment. One excellent resource there at Goodwill Career Connections is Kevin Little. Kevin is a part of Project Reentry, so he works with people that have criminal records, criminal backgrounds, and he helps you find work. He is absolutely phenomenal. I have not sent him anybody with any type of criminal record that he was not able to find employment that wanted to work. He's phenomenal. He really is. And he can take a look at what is on your record and help you determine places that you should apply and then places that you shouldn't waste your time. I know he's told me that he's run into so many people that are only applying for the type of job that they cannot get based on what's on their criminal record. And he can help you navigate those things, and he can send you to apply places that may even be incentivized to hire you based on your background. Another thing that they do at Goodwill Career Connections is the Career Readiness Certificate. Y'all familiar with that at all?
Never heard of it.
So the Career Readiness Certificate is required for permanent full-time hire at all the major manufacturing companies in this area. So it goes by the CRC. The CRC will score you bronze, silver, gold, or platinum based on how you score on the test. I've been told that the Career Readiness Test is very similar to the SAT. I don't know about y'all, but I do not think I would do very well on the SAT if I took it now without any preparation. So at Goodwill, they are able to go over those skills with you to refresh your memory, things that you may know how to do, but that you just haven't practiced in a long time. The Career Readiness Certificate, the test is given at Goodwill for free. So not only do you get the prep, but you also get to take the test without charge. Now, they do offer the CRC up at CVCC, but it's $45 to take it there. And of course, there's no prep to help you improve your performance on that test. Particularly if you're looking for employment and you're unemployed right now, I would go ahead and take the CRC while you can so that you're able to put that on your resume. It will really improve your chances of being hired permanent full-time at one of the manufacturing companies. So as we're talking about manufacturing, let's talk about the Manufacturing Academy at CVCC. So this is a course that is designed to give people skills in manufacturing. It does, you complete the CRC there as well. The class is about 8 weeks, I believe, and it's about 3 hours a day, and it's done in the evenings. Now, the purpose of the Manufacturing Academy is to give you skills so that you are able to make more money, so that you're able to go to a job in manufacturing and hit that $14, $15 an hour mark. So typically, oftentimes, people have started taking the Manufacturing Academy course, and there's such a demand for people that are trained to work in manufacturing that they're hired before they've even finished the course, and they'll just work first shift, and then they'll complete the class in the afternoons. So there is such a demand for people to work in manufacturing. Typically, this is free of charge. There are companies that are willing to pay the tuition to have someone trained in the Manufacturing Academy so that they can have them as employees when they leave. So typically you're able to complete this course without any type of financial assistance. It's paid for by the company that is looking to hire. If there's not a company that is looking to hire, we are willing to put our money behind someone getting trained so that they can make that $15 an hour that's necessary to have the type of income that is needed to meet your expenses in our area. Any questions about the Manufacturing Academy? Okay, people ready. I do not recommend temp agencies typically. I believe that temporary jobs tend to set you up for a crisis. You do not know when that job is going to end. If you are working through a temp agency and you miss work for any reason, you are likely to get fired. So I don't typically recommend temp agencies, but this particular one, People Ready, has some positives about it. So People Ready has a lot of jobs that you know are going to be temporary from the beginning. They do some temp to full-time hire, but they do a lot of temporary jobs. You will know how long the assignment is. You will know when it's going to end. Something that I like about People Ready is a lot of the jobs they are willing and able to pay by the day. So you go in at 8 o'clock, you clock out at 5. At 5:30, your pay is on a card and you're able to access it. Other jobs that they are not able to pay by the day, they are able to pay by the end of the week. So for example, you start on Monday, you get paid on Friday, rather than 2 to 3 weeks in the hole like it can be at some positions. I find this to be a great way to supplement your income doing part-time type work so that you're able just to add a little more income on in addition to another full-time job. I also like this type of work in terms of crisis situations. I think we know realistically if you lose a job, even if you get a new job within a few days, you're likely, because of all the paperwork that has to be done in HR and several weeks that you have to work where you're in the hole based on pay periods, you may not get paid for a month. And you have bills that are due, particularly if you're in a crisis situation. I like that People Ready is able to put some money in your pocket quickly to help you address those needs that you have. Bills that are coming up that can't wait, put a little gas money in your pocket so that you can get to and from places that you need to go. All right, so let's talk about preparing for an interview. So you've applied for jobs, you've gone through NCWorks or Goodwill or People Ready, and you're ready for the interview. What should you wear to a job interview?
My Sunday best and my dress shoes.
I would say that in most cases that's not appropriate anymore. The first thing that I would say is If you have talked to somebody in HR, whether it's going to be through a temp agency or whether this is a permanent interview, if you speak to somebody that's in HR, ask them, what should I wear to the job interview? You can't mess up if you ask before you go. The temp agencies are going to tell you without you asking. Don't wear flip-flops. If they tell you not to wear flip-flops, what do?
Don't wear flip-flops.
Don't wear flip-flops. Don't. If they've given you instructions on what to wear, you want to make sure that you follow them. If you go into a job interview and you have not followed instructions in terms of what you were told to wear and not to wear, it doesn't matter if you're the most qualified candidate that they've seen all day. It's unlikely they're going to hire you because you've just showed them that you cannot follow directions. So I would say business casual is appropriate in most situations, but I would also, once again, recommend ask, because there are a lot of job interviews where business casual is not going to be appropriate for the type of interview that you're having. I always give the example of Target Distribution for this. Target Distribution does group interviews. So if you are thinking that you're going to go in and you're going to be in a one-on-one situation and you're going to be the only person interviewing for the position, it's going to surprise you when you get there, and there may be 100 other people that are interviewing for the same position at the same time that you are. If you are applying to work in the warehouse, they are going to give you a physical. The physical is going to include getting on a stair climber with a heart monitor on, and then it is also going to include routinely lifting 50-pound boxes above your head after you've been on the stair climber. So if you show up in business casual attire, it may not be appropriate for you to do that physical. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be the appropriate clothing to have on. So once again, ask. If in doubt, go business casual. Okay, so in terms of preparing for an interview, there is a list here of questions. These are the most popular questions that are asked at job interviews. If you take a look at them, you're going to recognize it. If you've ever been to a job interview, you're going to recognize a lot of these questions. I would recommend that you practice answering these questions out loud. The way we work as humans, if we read a question and we answer it to ourselves, we know everything that's in our mind, so we're not going to answer it in a way that would be understandable to someone else who is listening. So you want to practice giving these answers out loud so that you're comfortable answering them and giving the proper information. So get a friend, family member to ask you these questions and go over the answers. If you don't have somebody that you can go over these questions with, come on in here and we'll go over these questions with you. Another resource that I find to be helpful in terms of employment is Glassdoor. It is a website where you're able to look at past interview questions and reviews on different jobs. Most of the major manufacturing companies in this area have up-to-date interview information on that site. You will be able to find somebody who interviewed there 3 days ago and tells you the exact questions that were being asked, exactly what the interview process was like. And I find that to be helpful. The more you know about what the interview is going to be like before you go in, the more comfortable you're going to be in the interview and the better you're going to do in responding. Glassdoor I find to be particularly helpful, but there are other sites as well. You can always just go online and Google the company that you're going to work for and make sure that you find out information about what it's like to work there. In terms of going to an interview, what are some things you think you need to know before you go into an interview?
The description or the job you're applying for?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Something about the company.
Something about the company. Absolutely. So you want to research wherever you're going to work. You want to find out, what do they do? This position that I'm applying for, what does that job entail? You want to make sure that you have that information, and I think it's always helpful to be prepared with a question. They're gonna ask, do you have any questions? And it's best that you have a question, even if you prepared it before you went, even if the question has already been answered. Ask it anyway. Show interest. Now, you also want to know in terms of what the position you're applying for, how are you going to be a good fit for that? That is something they are going to ask you. Make sure you know what characteristics you have or what job experience you have that's going to make you a good fit for that position. Is there anything else y'all can think of in terms of an interview that you think you need to be prepared for? Okay. All right. Do y'all have any questions about employment? Looking for employment? Job interviews? All right. Well, that covers employment, and we'll move on to the next section.